Okay, where do we leave off? I honestly cannot even remember. Hey guys! You know what's awesome? Full disk failures. That's really awesome. When you lose absolutely everything that you've been working on for the past, 6 months or so, because your disk decides that it wants to commit suicide. It's so good. It's so good. So, I apologize for not posting anything up for about a month between moving, packing, unpacking, building things for my new apartment, getting permits and citations and all sorts of fucking bullshit that comes with moving to a new town. I haven't really gotten a chance to record anything, but now we are finally getting to the point where pretty much everything is taken care of. And I can start making stuff again. So, let's get back to it. So this is still the footage from last time before I lost a good chunk of shit. There's Madeline. I don't know why she's here, not in her house yet, but whatever, it doesn't matter. That might be story stuff for later. Madeline, you don't have anything that I want right now. God damn it. Alright. But now we're going through it. A lot's happened. It's like we're past E3. We're past all the announcements of the new systems. It's crazy. Like, I don't know, man. It's been such a fucking whirlwind couple weeks in the world of gaming, and I don't understand how everything hasn't just imploded on itself yet, but hey, we still got console launches to look forward to, so that's something or other. I don't know. We'll see if that actually makes any fucking sense in the upcoming times. Yeah. She doesn't have anything that I want. I'm just, spoilers, she doesn't have anything that I want. So the next place we're going to is the water temple of the game. It's the temple that's behind that big waterfall, behind the way station, on your way back to Casardis. So it should be a quick voyage, but it's Dragon's Dogma, so there are no quick voyages. But as soon as we get out of here, and we should talk to our friend the priest who will give us the job. So, while we're doing that, while we're waiting, let's talk a little bit about what's happened in the past couple of weeks. So Xbox One got unveiled, let's say, properly at E3. And man, they kind of screwed the pooch on absolutely everything that you could possibly do as related to a console release or a console unveiling. Like, I don't understand how you try and make, like, alright, let's set DRM off to the side for a minute. Who the hell is Microsoft's PR department? Because they all need to be fired, and it sounds like a grand majority of them have been since then. Because it feels like every new thing that they needed to convince people of, like actually get out there and convince people that it was okay, it wasn't like this weird thing about taking away your rights as, you know, a consumer, they did such a fucking poor job of it. Like, and it's kind of sad because there was a lot of interesting things that the store could have done. Now, whether they would have done it or not is something that's completely different, because honestly, we can't trust large corporations to, you know, do the right thing because there's so much money on the line. But I mean, here's the things that people don't get about Microsoft. The entertainment division for Microsoft is very, very small. Well, not very, very small, but it's small. Especially compared to the rest of the company, which makes oodles and oodles of money selling copies of Windows to people who need copies of Windows, which in this day and age is basically everyone. So when you have Microsoft's entertainment division trying to cut a niche out for itself, goblins, it's a very small piece of the pie. Because basically they don't have the same infrastructure that the rest of the company has. They have to basically do everything on their own. Which is why a lot of things revolving around Zune and Xbox and Microsoft, like Media Center and stuff like that, it all feels sort of half-assed. Like they don't have a lot of expertise with a lot of this stuff. So, I mean, when it comes to Xbox, they've been doing this for about, 15, 16 years now. It feels like they should have all this down. But I feel like somewhere along the lines, they decided we want this to be bigger than it is, and they decided let's just go for mass media, and we'll try to do a catch-all for everyone, like the Wii did originally, only that did a catch-all in a much different way. And we'll try and build upon this non-gamer hype that inherently comes with, how people talk about electronics. We'll get them all in. It'll be the cool thing. It'll be like selling Star Trek technology to people. Now, you can do that, but at the same time, you can't leave yourself so fucking open. Like, let's talk about E3 for a second. How fucking brutal was the PlayStation 4 press conference? Like, literally, I mean, this is a giant bomb saying, but they came up behind Microsoft with a knife and just kept stabbed them and kept stabbing them over and over and over. It was brutal. It was ugly. It was messy, and it was all Microsoft's fault. Like, the way that they handled how they explain DRM to people was a complete shit show. Like, they made it so confusing and so difficult to understand that in the end of the day, it was so easy to see the entire Xbox process as a reviled thing that no one needs to be a part of. And they did nothing to change, make it seem positive. Like, they were just saying, "Trust us, guys. It'll be awesome. Trust us. It'll be cool. Don't worry about it. Don't worry." And it's like, why would we worry? Because Microsoft has clearly done everything right the last generation, right? No. You can't just say no rentals, no selling used games, and expect everybody to be okay with it. I'm tired again. You need somebody to get out in the forefront and explain why that's not the worst thing in the world and why in the future stuff like that can work. They didn't have anybody doing that. They had 0 people doing that. And at the end of the day, they just let people's imagination run wild. And when that happened, everybody decided collectively that they were going to hate it. And meanwhile, in comes Sony, like I said, with a knife. And yeah, you can sell sell used games, and you can trade games, and it's fine. All that stuff is fine. No DRM, it's great. And as they were doing it, they sort of slipped in the fact that you'll have to have PS Plus in order to play online with the PlayStation 4. Like, real slick. Made people applaud it because they were so hype about no DRM. It was PR thing of beauty. Like, it doesn't get much cleaner, much more precise than what Sony did at that press conference. It was kind of amazing. But yeah, man, like, Xbox One, they sort of just completely screwed the pooch on the reveal, how stuff in the end got handled. It was really, 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 really crappy. And they shouldn't have done it that way, but they did, and now they're gonna play catch-up for the next 12 months. Like, it's amazing. Like, they gave PlayStation a massive lead that they didn't have to. I'm leaving that money out there. And it didn't make any sense. Like, it didn't make any sense to me at all. But, I mean, so here's, like, the thing, though. When it comes down to games, the things that we should all really care about, if you have a good PC, there's no real reason to really care about diving into... Bubble! Ding! There's no reason to care about diving headlong into... diving into the new generation anyway, because the best games that are coming out for PC. And those games look amazing. They look really, really cool. Like, Watch Dogs looks really cool. What was the other one? Tom Clancy's The Division, which is a terrible name. But that game looks super cool. The Crew, I didn't realize that The Crew was also going to be for PC. Like, I thought that was going to be PlayStation 4 exclusive, but no, apparently that's going for PC as well. So, like, everything that's really interesting that's coming up for the PS4, like, with all the new ecosystems and infrastructures that they're trying to make, all that stuff is going to PC. So, maybe not now, but 6 months from now, 8 months from now, like, January, February, that might be the time to just say, hey, you know what? I'm just going to make a new PC that's really going to have better specs than other consoles, and will have games that look better than it, if not as good, for the next 2, 3, 4 years. I mean, it will be a while before people really understand the architecture of the PS4 and the Xbox One, and it will take a while for them to really start putting out things that are dramatically more impressive than what we have during this generation. And that's fine. That's how it always goes. I mean, look at this past generation. Look at the launch games that came out with it. Like Perfect Dark Zero looks like fucking garbage now. But at the time, that was kind of good looking. Sorta. Kinda. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna have a lot of time for all that stuff to really become meaningful. And are we at the water temple? Yes, we are. So let's go to the game now. So this is the game's water temple, the water dragon, the water god's temple. That's what they call it. It's basically full of a lot of lizardmen and a lot of... I think that this is where ghouls start showing up, if memory serves. It's not that annoying, but it does bring up like the sort of principal thing. So you can't swim in Dragon's Dogma at all. They MacGuffin it by saying there's something wrong with the water, and now there's things in the water that eat you within like 2 seconds of being in the water. Yet we can still fish. Whatever, it's fine. Yeah, skeletons. So this being a water temple sort of means, rather than, you know, having to deal with a lot of like the swimming crap that you have to deal with in a lot of other water temple games, you have to deal with instant pitfalls, because if you fall in the water, you pretty much die instantly, or if you get lucky, it just sends you back to the beginning of the room, which is a little weird and kind of dumb. Mass money, jeez. So that was another thing. I was talking to somebody about Dragon's Dogma New Game Plus, and apparently, like, money's supposed to be scarce. I'm getting I feel like every episode that we've made, we've been getting between 350 and 400,000 gold every time. Like, it feels like we're making mad loot. Granted, I do have Iris, I do have Iris in a pretty princess dress, which might mean that she's making mad money. Like, money drops are just like way more common as it normally is, but you know, still, it's weird. But whatever. So I think, if memory serves, this is the third dungeon of 4 before we get into the next tier of story quests. So I think what I'm going to do is, after we finish the 4th dungeon, we're going to go into the DLC, because honestly, knowing everything that's going to come around every corner is kind of bumming me out. So I think it's time to get into some stuff that we can't foresee. Stuff that's high level oriented. Maybe get some real OG shit. Like, because this game is really cool when you have to be careful, but doing New Game Plus and being so high leveled, being so high leveled, it doesn't really feel like you have to be that careful. So I think going into it with all the dress of the nines and all that good stuff, doors and more lizardmen, like you do. Going into a place where we really have to watch our asses will be a lot more fun to watch, and it'll be a lot more fun to play. And then we'll get back to the story missions. We'll see where we go from there. Because again, this game isn't terribly long. It's just a lot of walking around, a lot of exploring that makes it take a while. I think the tail is severed. These pawns that I have spit a lot of game. Spitting mad game.
This looks interesting.
So, a whole bunch of Saurian tails and Saurian scales, which don't do a lot. You can use a couple of it to make stamina regen items, which are useful from time to time when you're in the heat of battle, but not so much when you are, you know, have to deal with. Not so much when you have to deal with like health or anything like that. This room looks like a trap, but there are very few traps in this game, so it's not a trap. But again, mad money. This is a loot room. Yeah, so we need to find something, which I've already passed. It's behind me. But basically we need to get the lever for upstairs so we can raise the elevator out of the water so we can cross the first room, or so we can cross the first cabin and get to the back of the room. And I think I've already missed it, unless I missed picking it up. Nope, I missed picking it up, so that's fine. So lower the elevator, we'll just jump across. There are a couple more lizard men in the next room, which we can easily snipe. And I think this is the... I think there are also some undead snipers, which are always fun. Maps in this and in dungeons don't really do a whole lot, but... Oh, what a dick. Make a short work of them though. Yeah, I think I just took out that sniper and across the other room. Like so. You can see the lizardmen hang from the ceiling.
There's no way we could have lost to that.
Get out of here. Oh no. So alright, so there is a zombie spellcaster across the room that is shooting spells at a wall and trying to get to me. Whoop, get out of the way. It's just gold. Whatever, we got it. So you're not, well, it's not that you can't get it now because we just got it, obviously. Yeah, we just got the stones that you need to get later when you come back in here. So basically the object of this mission right now is to figure out what happened to the expedition team that came in here to sort of chart and do historical analysis on this dungeon. But what they don't tell you is that there's also 4 stones that they were researching. See, sit down. Ugh. I can't get out. I'm stuck. So this time I got lucky, just reset me at the top of the room. It's not that bad. But so basically this mission is kind of annoying because it's one of those things where rather than making sort of a larger, more expansive dungeon, they give you one dungeon and tell you to go in like 4 or 5 times, which is kind of annoying. And this is the mission that I think is supposed to get you acclimated with encumbrance. Because basically the 4 plates that you have to get after you find out what happened to the expedition team are extremely heavy. So you have to sort of manage your inventory to a point where you can't really carry anything. I remember, and as you'll see, it's like you kind of have to like use all your pawns in order to like divvy up the workload, so you can. I'm trying to just make this place a little brighter. Yeah. But it's just annoying. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I haven't played a game yet that deals with encumbrance in a way that doesn't feel really annoying. And I guess that's sort of the point. Encumbrance is annoying, and it's not something that you should like or get used to. Here's the expedition team. Guess spoilers, or guess what? They've been slaughtered. Amazing.
Even a glancing blow is deadly.
You're about to see what slaughtered them. Hey, guess what? It's an ogre. Or a cyclops. Cyclops. If it was an ogre, it would be probably not. So now we've got the climbing game. It's funny, I was watching somebody play Shadow of the Colossus over the weekend, and it's amazing how good that... Whoa. Pawns just fucking shit up. They say we can't stop here. This dude is a scrub. Let's keep going. But I was watching somebody play Shadows of the Colossus, and it's amazing to see like just those kind of simple mechanics of climbing and hitting the weak points of, you know, these giant monsters, and how cool of an idea that is. And I'm kind of bewildered that more games haven't tried to do it, or at least, like, you know, there are certain things that I feel like, oh, it's okay to steal just outright. And if a game has good gameplay, all of those elements should just be swept up and then put out for mass use. Now, that being said, I also watched the two best friends play Xbox Live arcade or indie arcade games, and I did not realize how many Slenderman copies there are out there, which is sort of depressing because Slenderman isn't really a great game to begin with. Like, I remember sort of buying into the hype when that came out. It's like, oh, this is going to be really scary. Let's turn off all the lights. Let's, you know, put up the music and, you know, let the only light in the room be the glow of the television, and then playing the game and just being like, this is dumb. This isn't scary. Like, Slenderman is not a scary enemy. He's not. Like, there are things... So, Marble Hornets is a cool thing, and, like, the whole conspiracy of, like, this otherworldly thing, like, being after you is cool, but it's the idea of it being after you that's cool and interesting. We don't really care about... Whoa! We don't really care about, the monster himself. The monster itself is not really all that interesting. Blah. No individual animations for placing that gem. Just sort of paw at the door. So it's funny watching bats. 99 bats. So it's interesting seeing so many games just sort of try and rip that off. Like, oh, what a doucher that guy is being. Oh man, I forgot about that. Yeah, that dude was just being a dick. Be very, very quiet and snipe this dude from the ceiling. Man, what an asshole. That was pretty good. But it just put me right here. Checkpointing in this game is... What a dick! He did it again. Yeah, so... I was about to say... Yeah, checkpointing in this game is pretty okay.
What's that?
Oh, now I'm tired. Oh, wait. And somehow there's a meteor storm coming into this room. That makes no sense, but whatever. My pawn mages are pissed off that that happened twice. So they said, we're not fucking around anymore. Just call down the storm. Alright, so now we need to start messing with the water levels. Because can't swim. But we still need to go and get all 4 of these plates. These guys are being massive dickbags. So basically these guys are invisible. And you can see them if you are moving very quickly, or very slowly. But if you were just sort of leisurely walking down some stairs, yeah, these guys will snipe you out. So now I'm paranoid, and I'm just shooting downstairs. And the problem is that I have about half my maximum HP, so I'm going to have to take some regeneratives pretty soon. Pew. This game, well, I was gonna say this game actually has some pretty cool sound design, but it has pretty good sound effects. The voice acting is sort of garbage. Skeletons. Yeah. Real easy for magic archers to clear rooms of undead guys, because basically that's all just magic spells that you can send bolts in every last direction willy-nilly without having to think about it very much. So, like I said in earlier videos, Magic Archer is sort of the easy mode of this game, but it is also super fun because it is like being a fucking Harrier jet. You're just launching like homing missiles all the time. It's super fun. So, like, that's the way I love it. I played through a little bit as an assassin last time. It was fine, but it wasn't amazing.
Seems we've won.
I mean, it's kind of a bummer that there's not a whole lot to unlock still, but I mean, I guess the whole idea at this point is to go through the game and... yeah, and we finished a side quest. Yeah, see, so I've been getting these plates, and now I can't move. And granted, my character, Layer, has a lot of stuff that lets her carry more... But that doesn't really seem to matter because these things are so damn heavy. So now we need to move some stuff around, and that's kind of a big problem. So the problem that I have with open world games like this is that I'm a massive hoarder when it comes to it. I don't like giving stuff away, and even if it's to the point where I get magic that can just heal me in full immediately, I still will hold on to every last item that I get just in case. I say in air quotes. So it's kind of annoying for me, but, you know, whatever. That's how these games are played. Skyrim was the same way when I played through that game, but that was a weird thing where it's like I would go to my house and just litter my house full of all my crap. Like, just drawers and shelves overflowing with stupid shit that I never really needed in the first place. Like, I did not do the tricks where it was like, yeah, you can make healing items that heal you back to maximum in one, like, just using one thing. Like, I barely did any crafting or any masonry work at all. Or not masonry work, armor building at all. Like, the way that I played that game, I was like, the Dark Elf, it was all about bows and daggers up until the point where I learned about conjugation magic, and then I maxed out conjugation magic, and then I was just like, yo, I got a posse of dudes that are going to follow me around all the time, and it'll be awesome. So I got to the point where I could have like 2 fire demon girls, hot fire demon naked girls follow me around the whole time. We were just like, it felt like this weird sort of Vegas Strip saunter every time I went through the streets of Windhelm. It was weird. But it was cool and it was fun. But yeah, it's weird. Like, encumbrance, I hope that somebody actually comes up with a way that make encumbrance interesting, because as it is right now, it's just a big pain in the butt. Oh. Yeah, I mean, these things weigh 10 units of measurement. So when you are carrying so much crap like I am right now, it makes it really hard. And now the water's lower. It makes it really hard just to get around, and like with the running in this as it is, I really wish that running didn't use up stamina if you weren't in combat. Stamina being a thing in combat is fine, just increase it all. But when you are running around this world, which is small but big enough to be annoying when you have to walk and get your stamina back, I really wish they just made it so you could run the whole time. Or, like I said earlier, give you mounts, give you something that makes it a little bit quicker. But whatever. So yeah, now we are going through the bottoms, and basically there are 4 treasure chests that we need to get that have those tomes in them. And as soon as we get them, we can just give them to the dude that's waiting outside. I figured to speed things along, just to get everything that you can as quickly as possible, and just see if we can streamline some of these quests. Oh, there we go. So, I think when I get back to the point where I'm narrating this live, I might try and do my level. See what my maximums are. We got, so we do have ghouls. So it looks like we have a ghost, a ghoul, and a couple spirits. But I still have, I believe my sorceress has holy affinity, so she is healing she is giving me holy affinity, which is just murders the undead. Yeah, just checking what I got. Nothing of interest. No. I gotta do that charge shot. That's some Sea Viper stuff right there. Do that EX Seismo. Unlockable. So there's a really weak Cyclops here for some reason, and I think originally this was a full Cyclops, but because there is a ledge right there, it's one of those bosses that has a 90% chance of just falling off the edge anyway. So they just gave him low health. So I hit him with a black hole bomb and blindness, so he's just flailing. Still gives you full XP for it though. But yeah, that was a little bit of a waste of time. We could have just gone around it. So now we're running. Yeah. So you fall down there, you die. So you don't want to do that. But there's a lot of good health items here, which I'll have to cultivate later. So in the meantime, we'll go and we'll come up here and we'll get this stupid thing. There we go. And I'm over encumbered again. Yay.
Such narrow halls in suit combat.
So I think we're getting to the point where
I'm on my way.
I can... Actually, that's probably not true. I was about to say, I think we're getting to the point where I can bring up my equipment to the heaviest setting, the highest settings that is possible, which is called the Dragon Rend. No, that's Skyrim. The Dragon Mark, something like that. But basically, if you kill a dragon or a drake, anything in the dragon lineage that is maxed out, it becomes Dragon Brand. Let's say Dragon Brand. It becomes Dragon Branded, and which basically pumps everything up way higher than it would normally be. Sort of like supercharges your inventory and gets you, the best thing you can get. But since I've put on all new stuff, even though I think a lot of this stuff is better than the last stuff that I had, it means that we'll have to get everything back up to maximum again. But once we're done with this mission, we can stop by the dude and see what we need. It might be a while before we can do any of that stuff, because I remember you do need some higher level items that you don't get until the end of the game from time to time. Another tome, another over encumbrance. So yeah, now we're just giving it to people. It's like, just hold this, hold it, it's fine. And I think this is the last one. No, that's just another headgear thing. And I think we're coming up to the end of this thing. We've done everything that we were supposed to do initially. So now we're just going through for the second round of stuff. Bats! And as soon as we do that, we'll be done here. And then we'll hightail it back to Grand Soren. This is the last one here.
What's this?
And we'll give that to her because she's not over encumbered yet. Just bathing in this juice and oil and water. It's funny that like the pawns will go and collect stuff on their own. Because that's not something that I usually expect from games like this. It's cool. I really like that. Where are we going? We're going to get the treasure. Yeah. Nope, we're going in circles. I don't know. But we're getting tired. Oh, God. I need a breather. Jesus. Oh, so weird. So it feels like, I don't know. Open world games are kind of like a weird thing for me because it's sort of like a real love-hate thing with me. So I just finished Sleeping Dogs, and I really liked it, but it felt so standard and cookie-cutter when you compare it with stuff like Grand Theft Auto or Saints Row or... Like, I mean, it had a lot of personality, but it didn't do enough differently from those other games, which is kind of a big shame. Like, karaoke just being a thing is sort of meh, but I mean, beyond that, it felt exactly the same as GTA 4. Like, there were so many parallels that I could make going back and forth. I mean, but I enjoyed it. It was fine. but like as soon as I was done with it, as soon as I finished the story mode, I had no incentive to go back into that world and keep playing. Unlike Skyrim, where it's like, oh, done with the story, let's keep doing shit because there's so much to say. Or Saints Row, or Saints Row the Third, where it's like Saints Row the Third is probably the only game that the only open world game that I've played where I was genuinely sad when it was over because it was so much fun. Alright, so let's talk to this dude. Everybody's dead.
They're well heavy. Best we went in light as we can manage.
Yeah. So this dude is gonna be a dick and make me go back inside the thing and then come back out and say like done. It's so stupid. Like triggers like that, it's so dumb. And now I'm wet, so I can't use my lantern. It's just silly. I don't understand why we do that. Why this is a thing is beyond me. But I mean, I guess that's how it goes with games like this. But anyway, going back to it. Yeah, so it's like Saints Row the Third was just like a lot of fun. It was a little dumb. Like I have like issues with Saints Row the Third, but it's still probably my favorite like open world Grand Theft Auto style game to date because it doesn't take itself too seriously, which means that you can have a lot of fun with it. It has a really fun creative character. But I don't know. I usually in games like this I usually play female characters for whatever reason. And in Saints Row the Third, like all the female items that you can get feel like stupid or retardedly over-sexualized. There are no skirts in Grand Theft Auto that do not end before your ass starts. So it's like you're either looking directly up your character's asshole the entire game, or you just don't wear skirts. There's one, but then that dress has like exposed cleavage down to your navel, and it's so weird. It's so bizarre. I don't know. I don't know. I like playing dress up in games like this, so if that's my biggest complaint about it, whatever. But I kind of wish that there was a lot more DLC that surrounded itself with, you know, making your characters look good. Because there aren't enough. And like I was surprised by even like the modded community doesn't have a lot of that stuff. So I missed one. That's why I had to come back in. That's cool. Ugh, God, we're so tired because it's so heavy. We'll walk up these stairs. But, yeah, I mean, it's cool. And so I'm also playing Psychonauts right now on the PC. I got during the Double Fine Humble Bundle. With a bunch of other stuff. Basically, I used the Double Fine Humble Bundle to put down my pre-order for Broken Story, or Broken Tale, whatever that game's called, or going to be called. Because I did not get in on that Kickstarter. I mean, Psychonauts is a really fun game. But all the side stuff that game has, granted there's not a lot of it, but all the side stuff that game has is sort of annoying. But that being said, I also played through Brutal Legend recently, and Brutal Legend is sort of in that same boat. So, alright, here's the thing about Brutal Legend. Brutal Legend is a really, really, really great game. But it is a really, really, really great game the second time through. Because I remember the first time playing that on the Xbox, it was a punch in the dick because you can't find anything, and the map doesn't work very well, and the side missions are kind of crap, and you don't really understand how the mechanics work. And as they're trying to slowly get you accustomed to the real-time strategy stuff of it, right. And we're done.
It was no fault
we're going to put these heavy slabs on this thing, and then this thing's going to go away, and then I'm never going to think about these heavy slabs again.
Pray, do not let it weigh upon your heart. Go and tell Sir Maximilian of our success.
Whatever. Ma'am. That's Sir. S-E-R. That's weird. That's a weird thing, too. Go turn in this quest so we can keep going and move this story along. I'm going to walk away really slowly. Wow. But yeah, it's Brutal Legend is really cool the second time because like Brutal Legend is actually a really cool real-time strategy game, but they do such a bad job of letting you know that it's a real-time strategy game, and there isn't all that much real-time strategy elements or in the game. It's that game where it's like you get to the very end of it, and you finally have all your stuff, and you're going up against the big bad, and it's like, okay, this game is now just starting to pop off. Let's really get into it. And you figure, and you beat that mission, and you find out, oh no, it's all over. And if you want more, you can play against the PC, or you can play against the computer rather, or you can go online. And it's sort of like, well, that's not really what I wanted. I wanted sort of a story that centered around that stuff a little bit more, but whatever, I guess. So, now we have to do the long walk back to town. And fight stuff along the way. And my health is low because I have not built any new healing items. And these guys are trying their damnedest to try and snipe me out. But why don't we take a break here, and when we get back, we'll be back in the city and ready to take on our next mission. And then after we finish that one, I think we'll be ready to do some brand new content. Some content that should have been DLC, but we had to buy it again. Oh, Capcom. But no. Till the next time.
The road splits here. Let's be doubly sure of which will see us to our destination.